Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NFL Thoughts. So, I'm getting this video out a little late, but nonetheless, we gotta get down to this prediction video of the Cowboys Vikings game tomorrow. I am excited. Are you excited? Yeah, I am so excited to cross my fingers and hope that Dalvin Cook does not rush for 200 yards on us. But with that being said, let's get down to this prediction. Okay, so basically, I am really hoping that Dan Quinn finally, fix the problem, all right? And it's going to start with this game right here tomorrow when we face Minnesota. Got to stop Dalvin Cook. That's what we need to do. After you do that, well, then you can worry about Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson and him doing his gritty and stuff. So, yeah, as far as the offense, yeah, let's talk about the offense. So, Ezekiel Elliott is coming back. And also, Tyrann Mathieu. What the hell? I said Tyrann Mathieu. Tyron Smith. He has been in team meetings. Have you noticed that? Have you been on Mark Holmes? You will see that a couple days or so ago, we found out that Tyron Smith has been going to team meetings. So, it's only getting closer and closer until that freaking injury-prone son of a gun gets back, and hopefully this time he doesn't get hurt again. With that being said, I want to talk about this game that we got. First of all, I would like to point out, speaking of offensive line, the offensive line has done splendid for the most part so far this season. Now, unfortunately, the Packers did get a little bit of pressure on Dak occasionally. But other than that, we did fine. I would have liked for our offensive line to be at their best on that 3rd down and 4 play when, not 3rd down and 4, that 4th down and 4 play when we went for it in overtime. I would like for my offensive line to protect Dak a little better than that, not having him to have to, step up a little bit in trying to, decide, do I want to take off and run or do I want to actually throw this? And then he threw it, and unfortunately, he could not hit Tony Pollard in the hands. Me personally, I would have just took off and ran with it. Yeah. Me personally, I would have just took off and ran with it. But yeah, so with that being said, I do want to talk about the offense. So, Ezekiel Elliott is coming back, and fear not, people. Fear not. Kellen Moore is going to get back to his balanced offensive play calling that he was doing before. We have been passing the ball a ton since Ezekiel Elliott got injured and he was out for those 2 games. With him back, we're not going to throw the ball as much. We are going to run, and I'm thinking 35 pass plays, at the bare minimum 32 run plays. Don't ask why I'm predicting that we'll have, 67 offensive plays. I'm just saying. We can run a well-oiled machine, a well-oiled, balanced attack by being able to do that. And we can make some things happen by doing this. But let me just get down to it. Dak Prescott. I watched Cowboys fan talk, and by the way, if you want to know, if you have no idea who Cowboys fan talk is, I will put the link to his channel in the description box below for anybody who, for any of you who sees this video. So, yeah, basically he said that the Vikings have one of the bottom worst pass defenses in the NFL. And then their run defense is average at best. So, yeah. Now, I've been told by my dad before that, statistics don't mean anything. It's still all about matching up, one-on-one on the football field. You're 11 guys against our 11 guys, and I get that. But the Vikings' pass defense has been very underwhelming this year. Very underwhelming. And I'm hoping that this is one of those games where maybe our passing game does go off. But I'm also hoping that we run the ball as well, and our running game can also go off too. Right now, I am predicting Dak Prescott to throw for 300 yards passing. And I'm saying that because I think we're going to get a lot of big chunk plays. This is that game that I feel like we are going to finally consistently get some big chunk plays down the field and be able to drive down the field on this Vikings defense. At the same time, be able to run the football with Ezekiel, Elliott, and Tony Pollard. I have them combining for a minimum of 32 carries in this game. So, yeah, as of right now, I have Dak throwing for 300 yards. And I also have him throwing a couple touchdown passes as well. Last week, I said he would throw 3 touchdown passes. This week, I'm going to bump the notch down a bit. We're going to go 2, just so I can at least get my prediction, correct. Not going over the top and saying something like 4 or 5 touchdown passes. No, we're just going to say he'll get 2. And then Ezekiel, Elliott, and Tony Pollard. Again, I have them getting at the bare minimum 32 carries combined. I have Zeke getting 19 carries, and I have Pollard getting 13 carries. I have Zeke getting 19 carries for a season high. I have him getting 19 carries in this game for a season high 86 yards. I know you guys are going to say that's not a whole lot. Well, I mean, it is averaging what, just a bit over 4 yards a carry. So that actually is really good. So, and that's all we need out of him. We don't need any of these big, long 80-yard runs that Tony Pollard be getting. No, that's Tony Pollard's job. Speaking of Tony Pollard, I have Tony Pollard getting 13 carries in this game, and I have him getting 13 carries for... I have him getting just a little bit more rushing yards than Zeke. I have him getting 13 carries for 92 yards. And maybe we'll get Malik Davis in there as well and run the football. So, yeah, right now I was getting 300 yards passing and about 170 yards rushing. So that is 470 yards of total offense. And then CeeDee Lamb got his first 100-yard game last week against Jair Alexander. And after Patrick Peterson just picked off Josh Allen twice in this past game on last Sunday, y'all are going to make it as if Patrick Peterson is all of a sudden the Messiah, and all of a sudden he's a better cornerback than Jair Alexander, and he's among the top in the league. Yeah, I do not believe that. Do you really believe that Patrick Peterson should now be ranked higher than Jair Alexander as far as cornerbacks? Me thinks not. Me thinks not. I still think Jair Alexander is a better corner than Patrick Peterson, which is why I believe that CeeDee Lamb is going to go off again this week. I think he's going to, get himself, some battles against Patrick Peterson. He's going to win a lot of them, in my opinion. I think he's going in this game. I don't think he's going to catch as many passes, but I think he's going to once again get a lot of yards. I think he's going to catch 8 passes in this game for, let's say, 140 yards. How about that? I'm not going to quite say 150. I'm going to say 140 yards receiving. No. 130 yards receiving. 8 catches, 130 yards receiving, and he's going to catch 1 touchdown. So, with that being said, I've got the offense out of the way. 470 yards of total offense. Dak to throw for 300. Zeke to rush for 86 yards rushing off of 19 carries. And Pollard to carry the ball 13 times for 92 yards. And CeeDee Lamb to catch 8 passes for $130 and a touchdown. Now let's talk about the defense. I will be quite honest with you. I do not have the most confidence in this defense now. I will be upfront with you. To be quite honest, I do not have as much confidence in this defense now. I'm going to say that they aren't going to get 400 yards of total offense, but I will say that they're probably going to get like 320 yards of total offense. I think we might give up a bit, but not a whole lot. But not giving up very little like we were in the early part of the season when we were at our dominant best. So, yeah, and as usual, I will make my predictions as far as the sacks. I think we still are going to get home for some sacks on Kirk Cousins, especially with how much he's been getting hit lately with that offensive line. I gotta say, Kirk Cousins is going to get sacked at the bare minimum 4 times in this game. And we are going to hit him a lot. I mean, a lot. But as far as I said, of course, we're going to get at least 4 sacks. I gotta obviously make an exact prediction. I'm predicting we have our best pass rushing performance of the year. I think the offense is going to do well, and I think the Vikings are going to try to keep up with our offense by trying to throw a little bit, and that's going to benefit our defense. But at the same time, I'm going to make a prediction. I am challenging the Cowboys. I want y'all to hold the Minnesota Vikings to sub 100 yards rushing. That is my prediction, that we hold them to sub 100 yards rushing. Now, it's more of a challenge to them than me actually predicting that that's going to happen. But I am challenging them to give up sub 100 yards rushing, and that'll be my prediction, that they are going to give up sub 100 yards rushing. So yeah, Kirk Cousins is going to get probably like maybe a little bit over 270 or 260 passing, but net yards passing probably just over 200, or 220 or something like that. But yeah, we're going to sack him 6 times. We are going to sack Kirk Cousins 6 times in this game. Excuse me. Yeah, so I have him sacking him 6 times and holding Dalvin Cook and the Vikings rushing attack to sub 100 yards. All right, challenging them to be able to do this. How confident am I in this prediction? A little. Because if there was any get right game as far as our run defense getting right, it would be this game right here in the second half of the season. So I'm a bit confident, but we just gotta wait and see what happens. But yeah, so that's what I got. We're gonna hold them to 320 yards of total offense, sub 100 yards rushing, and sack Kirk Cousins 6 times. And Micah Parsons, 11 from heaven, needs to get his flow back. 11 from heaven needs to get his flow back. So I have him getting at least 2 sacks in this game, but the exact number I have is he's going to have his career high 3 sacks in this game. Dan Quinn, you better be having him rushing the passer. You better be having him getting after the quarterback, because that's what he's bound to be great at and elite at. So I have him getting 3 sacks in this game. I got D-Law getting 1. He's gotten a sack in each of the last 2 games. I have Sam Williams getting 1. And I got the guy that not very many people think about. I got Dorance Armstrong getting another 1. So, yeah. So defense, 320 yards of total offense. About 250 passing, sub 100 yards rushing, 6 sacks. Micah Parsons is going to get 3. D-Law is going to get home. Sam Williams is going to get home. And Dorance Armstrong is going to get home. I think that Kirk throws a lot of interceptions. Especially as of recently, he's been throwing a lot of interceptions. I think that Kirk Cousins is going to throw 2 picks in this game, and one of them is going to go to Diggs, and Kelvin Joseph is going to feel great. I'm hoping that this happens. I want him to feel great, about his chances of playing in this league. I even have him being the surprise player that gets an interception. I should maybe pick somebody else, but I'm not. I have Kelvin Joseph being the surprise player that gets a pick in this game. Now, what is my prediction for this game? My final exact score prediction. Drum roll, please. Drum roll. Here we go. Here it is. I'm doing a whole lot of thinking about this. The Cowboys are going to win 34-24. I think the defense might give up, some points to the Vikings, but the offense is going to do very well, and the defense is going to do, okay at best. I am not going to start saying stuff like them giving up sub 300 yards of total offense and giving up like only 7 points or whatever. I'm not going to say no absurd scores like 38-7 or whatever until this defense can get back on track. Until this defense can get back on track, and I've seen it and I can believe it. As of right now, I have the Cowboys winning 34-24. I think the offense is going to do very well, and I think the defense is going to do just enough to get some stops, and the offense is going to take advantage of it. So, that is my prediction. That has been my time. Like, subscribe. This is NFL Thoughts. Out.